Well, chocolatiers. Like a naked mole rat right now. Agatha all along has finished. And you've got two sides with this show. And so I'm already about to poke the hornet's nest before I get into the actual full review. So you've got the grifter side, and you've got the MCU side. I feel like there's no mid side. I could never see a person going, let me check out this show. They don't know what the fuck's going on. I feel like there's no outside looking in with this shit. Like, I feel like you have to eat. The only two people watching this shit is literally people that just love the MCU, or maybe they just like it. I feel like you have the people that just like it. And then I feel like you have the people that are like, I gotta watch this shit to make hate content on it. Like, those fuckers, like when you like go on YouTube and like you're like, oh, so I made an Agatha review. Oh, let me check that out. And you click on it, and then like they've got every single episode, and every single one they say the same shit about how much they hate it, but they keep doing that shit because like they get so many views. Yeah, maybe I should start doing that. Have you seen the fucking views on my? Maybe I should start doing that. But yeah, I digress. So Agatha All Along is actually not that bad. If you paid attention to the algorithm, you think otherwise. It's a show that originally I felt like everybody else, where I felt like it wasn't needed, but the way that it ends up, the story that it tells, I actually feel like, while not still being necessary, something they might could have told in a different format, I don't think it was a waste of time. I don't think this was like kind of like an Echo situation where it's like, I really didn't learn shit, something like that. I really feel like this show is definitely one of the better MCU films, or not films, my bad, shows where you get a whole lot of fun out of it. Like, this reminded me of some of the early like MCU TV show days where I feel like they were just kind of having fun with stuff before they were like, let's just put 17 of these out. And then, after this announcement of this, they were like, yeah, let's like cut back on all the stuff. They're like, we can't be putting all this shit out just for tonight after this episode dropped, for them to be like, here's our slate for next year for TV shows. It's like 15 fucking shows. They even showed us a footage, like quick little footage of Wonder Man. That bitch doesn't come out till like next December. A year and 2 months, or a year and a month away. It's already November. A year and 1 month away. They're already showing us footage. I said, like, what are we doing? And so, once again, I digress. We're not here about that, okay? We're not here about those grifters. We're not here about those MCU cocksuckers, okay? We're here about the people that just enjoy critiquing things. And is it good? Is it bad? And I stand on the hill that I think this show is pretty good. I think that it starts off pretty strong. You have Agatha, who, from WandaVision, has lost her powers. She's pretty much lost her memory, and she's trapped in Westview. And the kid shows up, this character who, I almost want to just say who the fuck he is, but just in case somebody doesn't have a clue, I'm not going to spoil it for you. But he shows up, and he tries to get Agatha out of this trance because he wants to go on the witch's road because there's something that he wants. And same deal with Agatha once she awakes from her trance. That's kind of like the first, second episode. And we go on this adventure with these group of witches because Agatha gets a coven, and they go on the witch's road, and it's about them discovering themselves, getting things they want back. Like, for example, like Agatha wants her powers back. This one witch, she's not as strong as she used to be. She would like that back, and it's all kind of like they're going on the road to get something that they once had, okay? And so, with this show brings a lot of loss. And I feel like that's something that, I really liked about the show, because quickly on, they set up a lot of characters, and I feel like within 3-4 episodes, they kind of make you like a lot of the characters. Because, like, Agatha, for me, a lot of stuff she goes through, I think she has some good character development, but I feel like it wasn't good enough. Like, even like towards the end of the show, where she shows some hints of good, she's done so many fucked up things, and we still notice she's a villain. And that's good in a villain sense, because I'm tired of everybody being like, oh, they're an anti-hero. I'm tired of that shit. But at the same time, when you try to pull at our heartstrings and go, oh man, isn't that sad? I go, no, this is a bitch. I don't like her. And so that's like my one kind of complaint with her character. But, the kid is really kind of the star of the show. This is really his show, when you boil it down. And I really liked his performance. I really liked pretty much everything they did with his character, if I'm being honest. He gets like a background episode, I think like episode 5 or something like that. And it was really good. One of my favorite episodes of the season. And this is definitely one of those shows that's probably going to have a spin-off show of some sorts. There's no way they're coming back for season 2. This is definitely like I said, the way it ends, spin-off type deal. But I feel like before I want to get into all these positives, I want to get into some of the negatives. It doesn't do the Disney Plus rush thing, I feel like, and that was my kind of concern wrapping up to around episode 6 or 7, because I was like, we've only got a few more episodes left because there's only 9. And I was getting a little scared because most Disney Plus shows, if you've ever seen them, or at least the Disney Plus Marvel shows, I should say, they will set up all kinds of stuff, and they will not answer any questions, and they will have filler episodes, and they will spend like 2 or 3 episodes doing nothing, and then they'll be like, oh man, we're at episode 8 already, shit, and then they just rush everything in like 20 minutes, and then like 10 minutes is a boss fight, and then they just wrap everything up in a nice little bow. That's not really that nice because everything's so rushed. There's a lot of build up, but it's almost like they don't have enough episode length, which is weird because it's a streaming service, and they're the ones creating the story, so they can make the story however long they fucking want to. But I don't understand. And so with this show, I feel like they did and didn't do that, which is both a positive and negative for me, because they don't rush it. They really end it pretty much almost not perfectly, but pretty good in episode 8. But then I was like, wait, there's another episode. And that episode is kind of like setup, epilogue, stuff like that. And it felt like a big end credit scene in a way, while also giving you a lot of background on Agatha that I feel like was needed episodes before certain things happen. And I feel like would have at least had me care about her a little bit more. I don't know why they chose to show that in the last episode, but whatever. And I would say my other complaint is that I feel like some of the witches get more screen time, or at least I care about more. But at the same time, for example, I cannot remember her name, but she is in the episode with the tarot cards, and it's one of my favorite episodes. That woman right there, and she learns that, it's almost like she's living like life in a time loop. And it's a really cool concept stuff they give you. But they do all this in one episode. They show you some of her background. They show you some of what she's doing. And as I'm starting to kind of feel for her, it's like, oh, her story's over. And I feel like, I know it's weird. I know it's hard. And I'm not complaining on it too much because I didn't hate it necessarily. I just felt it was just kind of weird because most of the time whenever characters had something happen to them, like a death or like something crazy happen, I just feel like instead of you showing us okay, for example, the only way I can think about this without doing the shit I was about to do, the stupid explanation. So you guys know Walking Dead, the very popular show. I feel like the main complaint with that show is that whenever they were going to kill a character, they were like, let's give them their own episode. And they spend so much time on this character that has been in the show for like a season, right? And the only one I can think of is Chris from Everybody Hates Chris, okay? And he showed up, and he's like in the show for like a whole season. And I was like, okay, he's just a side character, not doing shit. And all of a sudden they're like, let's make him the main character this week's episode. And I was like, oh fuck. He's doing too much. He's giving too much exposition. He's talking about himself too much. You know why? They want us to give a fuck about him all of a sudden. You know why? Because they fucking killed his ass. And it's just stupid shit like that. And so that's what I feel like this show kind of does, where they're like, we really didn't talk about this white woman 2 weeks ago. She's been kind of in the background. You know what's fucked up? Let's go into her backstory. And they just spend way too much time. It's like, oh wait, she died. And I'm just kind of like, stop. I hate shit like that. But I would say those are kind of my complaints. But everything else for me is positives. Like, I think the character development, for the most part, character motivations, I think the story is pretty good. I think that kind of like this design of like the road is really unique and really cool. There's like some spotty CGI like with some like the witch powers, but it's like spotty. And what I mean by that is like people on Twitter like zooming like, what the fuck? On a TV, I'm like, unless I'm getting a fucking magnifying glass, I really wasn't noticing shit. It looks pretty good. Costumes are really good. I was really loving the way everybody looked. And even like that, they had to go through like these 3 trials early on in the show. And I think all of those are unique. I really loved them. And the show has like a lot of twists and turns. Like Aubrey Plaza's character, Rio, she's got a lot of mystery behind her. And the things you learn about her are really interesting, really intriguing. And it was just really cool. And for me, I think the most I really love about this show is just the dynamic between Agatha and everybody else. Like the kid, for example. His dynamic with Wanda and people in Westview and Agatha is just... It's just like, for me, it was off the chain because I'm a WandaVision fan, MCU fan. You know, it's not anything out of the ballpark. I'm not fucking watching a Martin Scorsese pick, okay? And that's what I don't understand about people. Like, you can have your cake, you can eat it too, okay? My fat ass don't know that. You can watch stuff. They act like they can watch more than one thing, like Penguin's out. It's like they're having to pick and choose. I've been watching both. Penguin's the better show. Penguin's a fucking 12 out of 10 every fucking week. I get to watch Miss Melody, whatever her last name is. She's so fucking fine. God damn. Little iron glass figure. Let me stop. That's another review for another time. But for me, like, it was nice every Wednesday having this to watch right before Penguin on Sundays. And, you know, I really, really enjoyed this show. I liked the little witch stuff they did. I like how sometimes they took it to, like, the mystical, you know, type of witches. And sometimes they took it to more darker stuff where, like, they had, you know, like, tarot cards, stuff like that. And I really liked how certain character designs were. Like, for example, like the one episode they had to dress up like the Wizard of Oz characters and stuff like that. And I don't know. Like, I really liked this show. I almost said the episode. Really liked how it ended. And I would say that's also kind of a complaint I have too, because I feel like it's a lot of, like I said before, it's a lot of setup. It's like it ends, but it doesn't. And I was like, that pisses me off. But I had a lot of fun with this show. Like, the songs in it. And, like, the whole time sitting there thinking, I was like, bro, haters gonna hate, I fucking guess. Like, yeah, the show's got problems. No, it's not perfect, but nobody's saying it is. But it's also not dog shit. It's also not fucking woke. I guess they're saying it's woke because it's got a bunch of women up in it, and then the kid is gay. I guess, but when you, like I said, most of this is pretty comic accurate as far as, like, the kid goes. I'm pretty sure he's gay in the comics. And then, like, I'm just saying, like, it's a bunch of witches, not warlocks, okay? So it's a bunch of women. Like, I don't know, like, I feel like that side is where I'm, like, kind of, like, when I was watching the show, I'm one of those people, like, I don't look out for shit like that, but, like, it's obvious when, like, they're trying to shoehorn something to do something stupid. And stuff like that is stupid. I do agree with that. Like, whenever, like, you know, fuck me, like, but nothing like that's said. Nothing like that's done. It's just, and even like that, it's not even like they're strong and powerful women. Like, not like that. Like, most of them are fucking weak and beaten up, and they've been through some shit, and they're trying to, like, get their fucking powers back. That's, like, the reason why half of them are even here. And the shit they go through, you know, I don't love all the character endings. For example, like, there's this one character that's dealing with stuff with her mother, and I think her ending, you know, is sad and unsatisfactory, but at the same time, it's kind of got a lot to say about how life is. She has a really good quote in the show where she just kind of like, that's it? I thought there was going to be more. And that kind of stuck with me a little bit. I was like, oh shit, like, yeah, that's it. And so even though me personally, I'm not like, man, I wish you should have got that last hurrah, I kind of like what they were saying. The show has a lot to say, has a lot to do, and for me it worked. Agatha all along is getting a 7.5 out of 10 in my book. I think this show is not perfect, but I think that it's also not bad. It's pretty good. If you're an MCU fan, feel like you've already watched it, you already know what's up, you're probably just watching this review to validate your own opinion. And I just feel like if you were thinking about giving it a shot, I don't know why you couldn't. Most of the episodes are very short. For some fucking reason, they decided the finale, like episode 8 and 9, were going to be like 40 fucking minutes. I'm fine with that, but like, they should have had some of these other episodes. I promise you I watched episode 3 or 4. I can't remember which one it was. It was like 20. I feel like it was 20 minutes. I was like, oh, like I literally sat down, had a meal. I was like, bet, finna fucking watch this. Took a bite of like 2 items, and I said, oh, okay, it's over. Well, let's get the remote. Sticky fucking barbecue hands. I mean, like, goddamn, was it just over? But yeah, like, I wasn't super hyped every week like I was with the Penguin. But at the same time, it's not bad. Pretty good show. Definitely go check it out. Definitely recommend. And with that, please definitely check out that subscribe button. And please hit that like button and comment and share. And with that, I will catch you guys on the next one.
It will test us.
I love my popcorn. Movies, popcorn.